The movie opens with two brothers depicted. Nathan and Nate. Both brothers sneak into a museum and attempt to steal a map. Meanwhile, police arrive and take the children to an orphanage. They have no parents and have spent their entire lives in orphanages. Nate's older brother made many attempts to steal the map because they come from a family of pirates. The map reveals the secret of a treasure. The orphanage sister tells the officer, "You can take Nate's older brother, he's still quite young." Even when restrained, he kept stealing. However, Nate's older brother refuses to surrender to the police. He decides to leave, entering his room to pack his belongings. Nate tells him, "I can't live without you." His older brother gives Nate a necklace, a lighter, and a letter before walking away saying, "I'll definitely come back." When Nate opens the letter after his brother leaves, he discovers a hidden message by holding the lighter's flame to it. It reads, "We come from a pirate family. We'll meet again." The scene then shifts 15 years later. We see Nate as an adult working in a bar. One day, a man named Victor visits him at the bar. Victor claims to know Nate and his brother, saying they once worked together. Nate shows no interest and tells Victor to leave, but Victor drops a card with his address on the way out. In the next scene, Nate enters his house. Upon arriving, he notices the map he and his brother had tried to steal earlier. Suddenly, Victor arrives and says, "If you had found this, you should have told me." Nate responds, "This is the same map everyone's been searching for, a treasure map. Many have dedicated their lives to this pursuit without success. It's a pointless story." Victor counters, "This isn't pointless. I know you and your brother understand this map's significance." He then hands Nate a book and a photo of a ship. Seeing which he says, "This isn't just any ship, it's a $500 million antique. More importantly, it carries buried treasure guarded by 18 people." Realizing Nate knows too much, Victor insists he can't let him walk away. He offers Nate a partnership, but Nate refuses, until Victor adds, "Work with me and you might find your brother." Nate returns home, reminiscing over his brother's belongings. By morning, he agrees to work with Victor. When Nate shows Victor a cross symbol, he clarifies, "This isn't just a cross, it's a key to the treasure." Victor reveals he owns one key, the other must be stolen from an auction house soon. "We have to act fast," he urges. After stealing the key from the company, Victor is returning when a girl named Brett confronts him, holding a knife to his throat. She demands the key, acting on her boss's orders, Victor's former enemy. As they struggle over the key, guards arrive, helping Victor to escape with it. Victor then travels to Barcelona with the key. There they encounter a girl named Fraser who knows Victor but not Nate. Victor introduces Nate as an old friend. Nate soon realizes Victor lied. The second key is actually with Fraser, not Victor. "Why did you lie to me?" Nate asks. Fraser interjects, "You might not understand the full situation." While they argue, Fraser secretly takes the key and attempts to leave in her car. Nate and Victor chase her, blocking her path. Victor tells Fraser, "You want the treasure but you don't even know what it is." Only Nate truly understands its significance. After hearing this, Fraser agrees to join forces with them. Nate explains, "The treasure was hidden near this church by those 18 people years ago." They arrive at that church where Nate studies the cards his brother gave him, confirming they're in the right place. The trio takes shelter in the church basement, locating where the keys activate. They find one keyhole hidden under a statue but don't know which direction to turn it. Victor reads from the book, "Both keys must rotate clockwise." When they try this, arrows suddenly shoot from the statue. Miraculously, all three dodge unharmed. Taking another risk, Nate and Fraser twist the keys anti-clockwise. After that, a hidden path appears behind the statue, leading through a cave. Nate tells that they have to split up. "Fraser and I will take one route, Victor you take another." Victor and Nate sync their phone GPSs before separating. Nate and Fraser's path leads them to a secret underground bar, a passage unknown to anyone else. Some people attack them before they can leave the path. Nate fights to stop them while Fraser tries to open the door. Once the door is opened, Nate and Fraser move forward. They discover a third door that can only be opened with the cross key. As Fraser attempts to open it, water begins flooding in. They realize the first door must be opened before the second one, and only Victor can do it from the other side. Meanwhile, the same girl who attacked Victor earlier reappears, and they engage in a fierce battle. Back at the flooded door, Nate and Fraser are trapped in rising water, nearly unconscious. Victor knocks out the girl and places his key on the locked door, allowing Nate and Fraser to escape safely. Now they face the final door, but no one knows how to open it. Victor was keeping an eye on them from a hole outside. Meanwhile, Nate employs his intellect and asked Fraser to deliver the other key from Victor. Victor, on the other hand, does not trust them and refuses to hand up the other key, but eventually hands over the key because he doesn't have any other choice. On the door, Nate notices a symbol. When Nate combines the two keys, the same symbol appears on the door. As a result, they open the door. When they enter through the door, they see 3 giant pots. Victor keeps pestering Nate about the treasure's location. Nate turns to Fraser and asks her to check inside the pots. Fraser looks inside and discovers they're filled with salt, meaning there's no treasure here. Suddenly, one of the pots breaks, revealing a hidden map, the real treasure map. Fraser suddenly points her gun at Nate. "Did you really think Victor told you the truth?" she says, then fires at Nate's head, knocking him unconscious. She takes the map and keys before leaving. Later, Victor finds Nate unconscious. When Nate wakes up, he realizes Fraser betrayed them. Furious, he confronts Victor. "Where's my brother? What have you been hiding from me?" Victor admits, "Years ago your brother and I hunted for this treasure. We stole the book we needed, but the Mercado residents ambushed us. Your brother was shot, he didn't survive." Nate breaks down in tears. "You left him to die. And now you're using me to finish what you started." Victor claims, "I lied, yes, but this was your brother's dying wish. He wanted you to fulfill his dream." Nate coldly replies, "I'll find the treasure for him. But after this we're done." Fraser is later seen with Brett and her boss, revealing she had been working for them all along. Brett's boss informs her, "You'll now report to Fraser." Later, the boss and his crew board a plane to hunt for the treasure, taking all essential supplies. He boasts to everyone, "This treasure belonged to my family, it's been lost for generations." Suddenly, Brett appears and kills her own boss. Fraser, realizing Brett will kill her next, hides in the plane's cargo hold. Brett orders her men, "Shoot Fraser on sight." Meanwhile, Nate and Victor, hidden in the car's trunk, arrive on the plane. They steal the map during their search for Fraser. A gunfight erupts between Brett and Fraser. Victor urges Nate, "We have the map, let's escape with the parachutes." As Victor jumps, Nate confronts Brett, "You killed my brother." He then attaches the cargo to a parachute and releases it, causing luggage to spill from the plane. Brett's men open fire on Victor and Nate. During the chaos, Nate's foot gets caught in the cargo and he's flung into the air with the luggage. After struggling, he manages to climb back into the plane. Meanwhile, Fraser jumps from the plane in a car, with Nate accidentally falling with it. As they plummet, Fraser yells, "Open the parachute." But Nate hasn't brought one. Just in time, Nate releases a cargo parachute. They ride it down safely to the sea, eventually washing up on a beach. Exhausted, they check into a hotel. That night, Fraser gives up on deciphering the map and falls asleep. Nate works tirelessly, studying the map and taking notes. When Fraser wakes at dawn, she sees his notes and, showing her cunning once more, sneaks off to find the treasure using his directions. Nate wakes to find the map gone. He smiles, he'd written the wrong location. Only he knows the real spot. In the next scene, Nate arrives at the map's location, an island cave. Brett, however, has been keeping an eye on Nate. Nate reaches the cave by jumping into the water. He sees 2 giant ships. Many people have died while searching for those ships. When Nate enters one ship, he discovers a large amount of gold. Meanwhile, he hears Victor's footsteps approaching. Nate is terrified as he watches this and wonders, "How did he get here?" Victor says, "You've connected me through your GPS." When Brett arrives with her people, both Nate and Victor hide while watching the treasure. Brett calls her team and prepares to board the ships by plane because she knows the ships themselves, in addition to the treasure, are worth millions of dollars. Victor and Nate emerge and announce their plan to steal the ship. They approach from the front and start fighting the guards. Nate also fights the guards, throwing them into the water. They take over the ship after killing the guards one by one. Brett grows enraged when she sees this and attacks them with another ship. Victor quickly summons a helicopter to escape Brett. Meanwhile, Brett pursues him while her men attack Nate's ship. As the battle intensifies, Brett prepares to ram Nate's ship. Nate retaliates by attacking Brett's helicopter, destroying it. Her ship then crashes into a mountain and is completely destroyed. Brett survives and lands on Nate's ship, declaring, "If someone isn't mine, they can't belong to anyone else." She throws the ship's engine into the sea, crippling both the ship and helicopter. Victor's gold bag starts slipping away. He puts his helicopter on autopilot to save it. Meanwhile, Nate and Brett fight fiercely on the ship. Nate attempts to escape to the helicopter, but Brett chases him. Victor sacrifices his gold-filled bag, hurling it at Brett and knocking her into the water. Suddenly, the ship's rope attached to the helicopter snaps. Victor rescues Nate just as the entire ship collapses onto Brett, killing her. The broken ship begins to float away. "We can still take this gold," Nate tells Victor. But Victor stops him. "It belongs to the government now, they're coming to seize it." He reluctantly flies the helicopter away. Nate comforts him, slowly pulling out a piece of hidden gold from his pocket. They share a hopeful moment. In the final scene, a motorboat chases them, revealing Fraser, whom Nate had tricked earlier. The movie ends with a twist. Nate's brother is still alive and imprisoned.